be bold and brilliant. This special video is for our students. If you are in college, in high school, or in elementary, but if you're listening to this, or maybe your parents or your moms can share this with you, the topic is be a Petmalu in school. Correct, no? Maging malupit ka. Wow, galing. Yes, enjoy and have fun in school. Don't waste your time in school. I know a lot of maybe high school or even college students especially. Remember this, when you're in college, after a few years, you're supposed to go to work already. And going to work is the real thing. And getting a job is not only supposedly just that kind of designation or that kind of position, but later on as years go by, you wish you will get promoted, you'll get to be a supervisor or maybe a manager, and maybe eventually earn your own company or office. So while in school, because a transcript of record is really very important, but this is the thing, the irony of life. Students who are sponsored to go to school, sometimes they get or feel lazy to go to school, or they feel lazy to really achieve high grades. Those who cannot afford to go to school wish they could really get and be enrolled. See, that's it. But sometimes you don't realize it until later on when you want to apply for a job and all your grades are in 3s, 2s, 4 or 5 instead of the 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.5. Then it's the only time you regret not making the most out of school. Be bold, be brilliant, be smart. If you're enrolled in school right now, start by making the most out of it. If you don't like the subject, count yourself 3 to 1, go to the front and listen to the teacher and challenge the teacher. Tell the teacher honestly, you know, ma'am, I'm not good in math. I'm really sorry, but I'm trying my best. That's why I'm sitting here right in front so that I could understand right away. And if I'm shy to really say my question in front of everyone else, would it be okay if I just say it to you on a one-on-one basis or maybe whisper it to you? But you sitting down there in front of the teacher would tell the teacher that you care for the subject, and maybe the teacher would be kinder to you and would be more considerate to you because you're cooperating even with your own self. Now, if you think that your one piece of notebook is good enough, no. You're supposed to have a bigger kind of notebook. You know, the technique actually is the bigger the penmanship, the bigger the notebook, the better. Because visually, the brain can remember how you wrote it. Now, for some, they have these small kinds of bags and they have this small kind of notebook and they write too little. While some subjects have handouts and some Xerox copies, that's good. But when you make your own personal notes, the bigger the penmanship, the better. And make sure you legibly write so that you can understand when you go home. Because most of the time when you go home and you try to study your notes, it's like, what's this? So it takes time for you to understand because you cannot read your penmanship. That's why it's so nice when you're more disciplined that as you copy the notes, you write it beautifully. And you write it legibly that you can really read it, space it out, and write big. Remember, write big. The bigger the notes or the bigger the penmanship, the higher the grade. Right, try it, really try it. Okay, so make sure you write well. Now, if you also have handouts, just make sure when you go and photocopy those papers, make sure that you check on the person who does the photocopying. When you pay for it, before you pay, just make sure the ink is there and you can read. Sometimes first page you can read and second page you cannot read anymore. So how? And it's not fair to you, you're paying it. But sometimes the problem is once you say, paki-copy, paki-Xerox or what, then you just talk or you eat while you're waiting for it and then you give the money, you get the copy, and then when you get home, that's the time you realize, oh, no more ink. So it's not good. You're shortchanged and it's not fair for you. So make sure your copies are good. And then also attendance. Try to be always there. It's different when you personally listen to the teacher discuss a lesson. It's different when you just overheard it or when you just asked your classmate to explain to you or you just copy the notes of the classmate. It's so different, right? So you have to be there, take the notes, and this is the technique. Most take notes while the teacher is talking. That does not work. Listen to the teacher first, and after that, copy. Why? So that you understand what you're copying. So as you listen to the teacher, focus on what she's saying before you copy, and then after that, you copy, and then it supplements what you have just learned, and it reviews what you have just learned, and then you write it down. Of course, you have to write fast too. So for those who write a little slow, find ways to be able to improve that, because sometimes you have to be able to catch up. And don't really write word per word. Just write the main thing that the teacher is saying and try to summarize it. Okay, because otherwise you will lose the momentum, and you will lose the discussion because you're still writing word per word per word. And then when you go home, when you review, okay, this is a little long for today, but when you review for your exams, make sure you handle first the difficult subjects, and then followed by the next difficult one, and then the next, until the lightest thing. While you're energetic, while you're so awake, while you're fine, while you're not yet tired, handle and study the difficult subjects first, so that, okay, and that would really make a difference. So make sure you also know the rules the teacher wants. Observe, respect her. Don't fight with any teacher. It's not worth it. Makiusap ka, pwede. Talk to your teacher. Ask for consideration if ever. But most of the time, show also that you follow the rules, like follow the deadline. If she says red folder, then use your red folder. If she says make sure there's 1 inch margin on every corner, then follow whatever the teacher says, because she is the teacher, right? And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask questions. Be bold. Say, teacher, I really want to make my project proper, and I really want to make my homework correct. So may I ask if, just be respectful and ask the teacher. That's why it's really different when you are bold and brilliant. All right, so that's for higher grade. For the students out there, keep studying. Be a Petmalu!